cups, and a complete absence of tea. I recall the cluster of suitcases on the York platform, the patterned summer frocks of the women, some of whom already had their sunglasses on. They took a maternal interest in my sister and me. "Now, you have brought your sun hats, haven't you?" I remember the freshly whitened plimsolls of the men, and the BRTC badges on the lapels of their summer jackets. The badge was circular, with the countries of Europe west of Russia shown in gold against a blue background. In the absence of my father, who died as I began writing this book, I might think I dreamt our railway jaunts, were it not for that badge, which is the only thing that comes up when the words British Railwaymen's Touring Club are put into the internet. The badges are offered for sale on various sites, with suggestions for starting bids around the £3 mark. The National Rail Museum in York reported no mention of the BRTC on their database, and suggested I contact an organisation called REPTA. This used to stand for Railway Employees Privilege Ticket Association, a name that expressed the pride of the railwaymen of the 1920s, who had fought for travel concessions and formed an association to protect them. Today, nobody calls themselves privileged, and the organisation has become the Railway Employees and Public Transport Association. According to its spokesman, Colin Rawle, it is a benefits association for active and retired railwaymen. But the retired BR staff remain more privileged than those currently employed, who have concessionary travel within Britain only on the territory of their train operating company, and must clear high bureaucratic hurdles to access less generous European concessions than were enjoyed by my dad. According to Colin Rawle, the British Railwaymen's Touring Club wasn't part of British Rail. It was an independent tour company that organised package holidays for railwaymen using their free travel. We don't have any mention of it in our records, but I think it folded in the early 80s. Now back to York Station in 1973. When the train came in, I concentrated on looking nonchalant as we headed for first class. As a fairly senior man on the salaried side, as he'd modestly say, my father's privilege tickets were all firsts. We arrived at King's Cross, the Cross to the BRTC men, at lunchtime. From there, we transferred to Victoria by underground. The BRTC men had free travel on that as well, and I was always disappointed that there was no first class on the tube, because if there had been, we'd have been in it. At Victoria, we entrained for Dover. We then took a ferry operated by Sealink, the seagoing arm of BR. This we boarded at blustery Dover Marine Station, which was located directly on the dock, and offered the classic conjunction of the boat-train era, which now seems dreamlike: a railway station with a ship alongside. It was customary for the railwaymen to point out to us children that the BR double arrow appeared the right way round on one side of the ferry's funnel, while being reversed on the other side so as to resemble an S for Sealink. We disembarked from the ferry at the French counterpart to Dover Marine, Calais Maritime, which was demolished in the mid-1990s. Dover and Calais are now served by two stations located a 10-minute bus ride, if the bus is running that day, from the sea. The Calais Maritime I knew was a single-storey concrete building of 1956, almost Euston-like in its grey functionality. It appears in two films starring Alec Guinness, The Lavender Hill Mob and The Detective. But still, Calais Maritime was exciting, partly because Calais was exciting. For the British, it was where Europe began, whereas in recent years, migrants have thought it's where Britain begins. My dad always said Calais Maritime made him nervous, because if you got on